Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here today to discuss the recent attention given to Meghan Markle's dress choices during her recent tour of Colombia with Prince Harry. As many of you know, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex visited Colombia in 2023 as part of their royal duties to represent the Queen and the United Kingdom. During their trip, Meghan chose to wear several fitted and shorter dresses and skirts that accentuated her figure. This choice of attire sparked considerable controversy and debate, with some praising Meghan for her confidence and style while others criticized her for dressing inappropriately for her position and the culture in Colombia. As the vice president of this country, I want to address this issue and provide some perspective on both sides of the argument. First, it's important to acknowledge that different cultures have varying standards of modesty and what is deemed appropriately dressed. For example, Colombia is a predominantly Catholic country with traditions rooted in Spanish and indigenous influences. Compared to more secular Western nations like the United States or United Kingdom, dress codes there tend to be more conservative, covering more skin and accentuating female figures to a lesser degree. However, times are changing and globalization has exposed Colombia to outside fashion influences, especially among younger generations. While traditional standards still hold sway in much of the country, the cities Meghan visited, like Bogotá, are more cosmopolitan with citizens accustomed to a wider range of styles. Additionally, the royal tour was intended to foster closer diplomatic and economic ties between Colombia and UK, so showcase some British/Western fashion could advance that soft power objective. That said, as a royal representing the Queen on an official government visit, Meghan also had responsibilities to respect local cultural norms even if not strictly following them. Her choices did draw unwanted distraction from the goals of strengthening UK-Colombia relations. Further, as the first biracial woman in modern British royalty, she remains a highly visible symbol whose every action is scrutinized through a sometimes unforgiving lens. One could argue she should have opted for more conservative ensembles befitting her status. However, others noted that Meghan has always had a confident, independent style less restricted by tradition compared to other royals. At 37 years old and a successful career behind her prior to marrying Prince Harry, she is accustomed to expressing herself through fashion and is reportedly more comfortable in fits showcasing her curves. Some saw her outfits in Colombia as a mark of her individuality within the constraints of her new position, a subtly feminist statement among persistent critiques of her as different. Rather than viewing this as a clash of cultures, others pointed out that certain body types will be accentuated no matter what is worn. Expecting Meghan or any woman to veil her figure entirely is in itself a form of enforced modesty, subjecting them to a double standard. As long as she maintained decorum and respect appropriate for her role, her attire choices should not define or limit her ability to carry out official duties. Freedom of expression is an important value in both Colombia and the US/UK when not trespassing legal bounds. Overall, reasonable people can disagree on this issue with valid perspectives on both sides. As the vice president, my role is not to pass moral judgment, but provide thoughtful consideration of multiple viewpoints. Ultimately, minor sartorial choices that draw criticism say less about an individual than they do about the pressures of outdated social norms and insecurities within societies. The success of the Sussex's royal visit advanced shared goals and strengthened the special relationship between our nations, which should take precedence over trivial matters. Moving forward, perhaps a balanced middle path can be found, one respecting local customs while allowing room for personal flair and the natural progression of cultural norms over time. At their best, diplomatic exchanges can foster the understanding that our common hopes far outweigh superficial differences. In conclusion, while opinions will continue to differ on this relatively minor topic, the overall mission of the Colombia tour seemed well served despite the temporary distraction. Most importantly, no real harm appears to have been done to UK-Colombian relations, which remains of vital strategic importance on issues like security, trade, and climate change cooperation. If anything, the positive energy and enthusiasm surrounding the younger generation of the royal family on display there signals they will help sustain public interest and goodwill on both sides of the Atlantic for years to come. For now, we can appreciate diverse perspectives while focusing on substance over appearance. There are certainly more consequential issues facing both our nations that deserve thoughtful discussion. But this relatively lighthearted case study in cultural diplomacy serves as a reminder of both the opportunities and sensitivities that arise when global engagement brings disparate worlds together. I thank you all for your time and continued dedication to building understanding between our peoples.